What's up, guys? So today I want to kind of talk a little bit about our backstory and where our business came from and how we got it here. So growing up, my dad was an entrepreneur. He had his own business and everything, so I always wanted to follow in his footsteps. I wanted to become an entrepreneur as well. Well, I decided that when I got to college, I was going to go get a business degree. So I got a degree in global business administration, and then when my senior year came around, I was like, okay, I started really getting involved in cryptocurrency, getting involved in a lot of Bitcoin and stuff like that, started trading and everything. And I got involved with something called BitConnect. BitConnect, basically I'd put my money into the platform, it would trade it for me, and then at the end of the day, I would collect the dividends off of the money that it earned. So I was actually making anywhere from $500 to $600 a day, and basically turned about $3,000 into a little over $25,000 in about 4 months. Well, during this time I went to Thailand, I started traveling the world, and basically spent 45 days going from the top to the bottom of Thailand, learning everything about Thailand. And the last day I was getting ready to pack my stuff up. I was about to have to get on a ferry ride and get home. It was going to take about 48 hours to get home. Well, the time I woke up that morning, my buddy had texted me and said, "Hey man, did you see what happened to BitConnect?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" So I checked my phone, and within 3 hours, I lost $25,000. And that was one of the most devastating, hard things that ever happened to me, and I didn't know what to do. So honestly, I moved back home. I had to get my mom to pay for most of the stuff for me to get back home, and got back home, and I was a little bit depressed at the time. I mean, after losing $25,000, wouldn't you be? But I started working at a car dealership, and I was like, okay, maybe this will be something. And I basically got to the point where I was working 6 days a week on an asphalt parking lot and absolutely hated it. I just went from traveling the world, making plenty of money, to hoping and praying I sold a car every day, and it was absolutely terrible. But the good thing about that job was I met a guy, and this guy, he actually became my business partner, but he started talking to me about digital marketing and social media and how he was helping other people and stuff like this. And I was like, okay, well, I just got a business degree, let's start a business around this. And he was like, okay, well, he knew all the digital marketing and social media, and I knew how to run a business. So, but before we got involved with each other, he had told me he had 10 car dealerships that were actually paying him $5,000 a month. He actually had a guy that he had just sold a website to for $125,000. I was like, okay, so we have operating capital, we're good to go, let's do this. So we both quit our jobs, moved to Valdosta, and started building a business. And within about 3 months, we come to realize I never saw the car dealership money coming in. I couldn't figure out what was happening, and I never saw the $125,000, and it was kind of like he was keeping me out of the loop, and I wasn't really sure what was going on. Well, one day we're actually sitting down, we were pitching the Chamber of Commerce, the president of the Chamber of Commerce, a web application for the Chamber, and it was going to be an awesome project. We were super excited. Well, we're sitting down with her, and all of a sudden a police officer walks in, and he's like, "Hey, whose car's parked in the back alleyway out there?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll just go move it real quick." And I walked out, and he's like, "Is this your car?" I was like, "No, sir, it's my partner's." And he was like, "Okay, well, you go get him." Went inside, grabbed him real quick, and whenever we walked out the door, cops slammed him down on the hood of the car. They arrested him and took him to jail, and then come to find out, basically he had been on probation violation for the last 4 years and been on the run. And within the first 5 days of him being in jail, we come to figure out that there was no car dealerships bringing in any money. There was no $125,000 check coming. All the clients that we had already gotten together in that first 3 months, he had stolen the money to pay off debts that he had acquired over time. So when he went to jail, instead of us having money, comes to find out there's $45,000 worth of lawsuits against the company. And I had to sit down with my entire team and explain to them that there was no money, there was no company. We were bankrupt, basically. And at that time, it was either sink or swim. So we basically shut down the old company, and we started the new company. But at that time, I was a business owner. I ran the business. I didn't know anything about social media. I had no clue what social media was capable of. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm about to own a digital marketing agency and social media management. Like, I've got to learn social media. So I was bound and determined to learn social media. So I spent hours and hours and hours, I'm talking about hundreds of hours, watching YouTube videos, studying these big gurus, buying courses, doing stuff like that to learn this stuff. And in that time period, I really grasped the concept of what social media can do for businesses. And it wasn't until I got my first client that it really showed me what was possible with social media. So our first client was actually a guy that sells shaved ice. Now you would think social media is probably not going to help him sell shaved ice, but he actually came to us in the middle of December. He had no appointment set up, he had nothing going on, it was 40 degrees outside, and he was like, I need to sell some ice. I'm like, dude, it is freezing outside, nobody's gonna buy shaved ice, that doesn't make sense. And he's like, but we gotta do it, I gotta get on Facebook, I gotta do this. And I was like, okay, well I've been studying this, I've been learning this, let me see what I can do. And it was absolutely crazy. Within the first week now, we had set up a couple different ways to generate some leads, and we generated probably 5 or 6 leads that helped him sell a bunch of ice. And it wasn't just like, okay, let me show up in your neighborhood, here's somebody buying 3 things of shaved ice. No, it was schools. It was big schools that were saying, hey, we've got 700 kids that we want to get shaved ice for. They've been great, we want to surprise them with shaved ice. And so within a week, or within that first month, honestly, he served probably 3 or 4 different schools. And even though it was freezing cold outside, everybody was happy because they were being able to serve those kids. It was making those kids happy. And it was just the craziest thing, because we literally took someone who was trying to sell ice in the middle of winter and used Facebook, used social media, and blew his business up. And it was within 1 month. And now, I mean, he's grown so much with it. He's grown with it. He's still our client. We're still working with him. He's taken and increased his social media by the thousands. Like, he's got thousands and thousands of followers now. And it's awesome because his business is thriving because of social media. And it just shows you and shows me what social media can do for businesses. And it's gone, and now I'm building my business, and I'm building others' businesses using social media. That entire aspect of online, taking brick and mortar stores and putting them online, increases their customers, increases their range of traffic, increases their sales, increases everything about their business, because now they're no longer a small mom and pop shop, but they're an online empire. They're gonna, and the thing about it is, like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, you're just sitting here trying to make money. I'm not trying to make money. My money is made by helping you make money. So my business doesn't grow unless my clients succeed. No client's gonna stay with me as a business if I'm not providing results. So the possibility of social media and the ability of it actually allows for results to be shown. Most marketing and stuff like that is very hard to track. But with social media, you can track your return on investment. You can say, I put this much in, and I got this much out. Okay, so that's the greatest part about it. It's actually transformed my business. It's transformed all of the businesses that I work with, and it's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue. The better results I provide for my clients, the better my business does. So I want to continue to provide great results to my clients so that their businesses grow and that I can grow as well. And that's the great part about social media. It allows for everyone to grow. So if your business is not on social media, then, I mean, even if it is, there's still so much room to grow. You need to understand the concepts of being able to run ads and being able to stay consistent and stuff like that. And that's the great part about the business that I run, is I'm not in the business to make money. I'm in the business to help people. Being able to help people and being able to help people grow their business like I've grown my business. We took our business from negative $500 from when my partner went to jail. The bank account said negative $500. And in the last year, or not even a year, the last 8 months, we've made over $100,000. That's crazy. Most businesses don't make $100,000 in their first 3 years or 2 years. But the power of social media and the power of being able to help people has taken us that far. So if you're interested, send us a message. I'm not going to continue to try to sell you on anything, but I just want you to know the backstory and what got us here. Thank you guys for listening.